going to talk about wheel lip moldings, specifically wheel lip moldings for the 67, 68. Finding NOS ones these days, good luck. And who wants to spend $1,000 or $800, or if you get lucky, $500 for a set of wheel lip moldings that, you know, they're going to last, oh, if you're lucky, 30,000 miles before they start getting a little bit of gravel damage and a little bit of wear on them. Most guys, that's not in their budget, especially Javier. This is he wants to be into this car $5 or $6 grand. And another option is our reproduction wheel lip moldings. But at $465 a set, you're going to be upside down in this car real soon. And again, 30,000 miles a few years later, they aren't going to look NOS. And the problem with our $465 restoration service is it requires good cores. Javier had good cores on 3 corners, but obviously this is not a good core. So let's talk about the next option. 71 to 73, made in Taiwan, reproduction wheel lip moldings for the 71 through 3. What we do is we buy 2 right rears for the right rear and the right front. And our set includes 2 left rears for the left rear and the left front. The fronts almost act like they're meant to go on there. You'll have to re-drill the holes, and I'll show you that. The rears, you got to trim about that much and drill some holes. So a set of 4 of these only takes about, 20 minutes, and if you're real slow, 45 minutes to put on your car. The good news is, if you send West Coast Classic Cougar core wheel lip moldings that are restorable, we'll give you these for free. And when I say core wheel lip moldings that are good, I want 3 out of 4 of them to be good. And I want the rears to be good. The fronts are less valuable. The right rear is the most valuable one. So if you got 2 good rears and 1 good front, send them to me as cores, and we will give you a set of these for free. But keep in mind, we don't want stuff that's kinked. We don't want a bunch of holes for mud flaps. We don't want to see East Coast ones that are all rotted and look like lace here. We want good, solid Western cores. Here's a good solid Western core right here. By the way, this is yet another option. If you want all 4 of your wheel lip moldings to match, Javier could have just taken this off and put 1 good used one on. This would shine up a little bit with some steel wool. It's never going to look great. It would massage out with your thumbs a little bit, and he could have just left these on there. But he wanted something that looked a little shinier, and he wanted something for free. So he's trading me his 3 wheel lip moldings for these. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can drill the car to fit the parts, or drill the parts to fit the car. I'm going to choose to drill the car. Looks a little better. If Javier ever goes back to original, it'll be really easy to MIG weld up the tiny little holes and go back and use the original locations. If it weren't for this little area here, it'd fit really well. So we just gotta massage these soft aluminum parts into place. Perfect fit? No. But a lot of bang for the buck, in my opinion. This is what I consider a good core. It has a little ding here, but it's not near worn through. There's no rot or electrolysis in here. Not a bunch of extra mud flap holes. Those dings will work out. It's not kinked. This is a valuable core, being the right rear. So if you're doing a trade with me, it's got to include a right rear. I got plenty of fronts. I got some lefts. Right rear, holy grail. The rear is not as good a fit as the front. You're going to have to trim about 1 inch off the rear. So what I do is I hold it up in place and I decide, do I want to fit the leading edge where it should be and then trim the rear? See how much we need to trim there? Or do I fit the rear and trim the front? You'll have to make your own decision on that. I personally think I'm going to trim the rear. So let's get that first screw in and then start drilling. Now that I'm certain of my placement here, I can hold this up here, work my thumb around, and kind of get an idea of where this needs to be trimmed. Get my Sharpie here, and look back here. I want that to end like the factory, just somewhere right in here, about right there. So now I can remove the molding and go trim it. Now you perfectionists out there are going to figure out a way to roll the edge in a little bit, and you're going to do a real finished edge. For me, I'm just going to knock the burr off.